Apple, you were so close. The iPhone SE 2020 at first seems to be the perfect no-frill phone for the masses. A minimalist aesthetic, premium build, great performance, solid cameras, it's got the whole deal. But alas, one thing spoils the whole experience. And can you guess what it is? But before we talk about the bad, we should look at what makes the iPhone SE so appealing and what made me personally switch to it for over half a year. There's a lot going for this little phone, and little was precisely what drew me and many others to the SE. This design, which calls back all the way to 2014 with the iPhone 6, is so one-handable, albeit a bit dated looking. I actually find the older design quite charming with its really simple, familiar layout. I love that it gives you Touch ID back, which feels super fast, especially with a mask on. This small design is such a throwback in the best way possible. Like, look at this. I can one-hand this phone and reach all corners of the screen with my thumb. Combine this with the lightness and the really thin design, and this phone basically melts away in your pocket. It isn't some huge cumbersome phablet that's going to make its presence constantly known, and that's incredibly refreshing in an age where that's basically all you see from major phone makers. The build quality is also typical Apple, which is to say, it is superb. It's crazy how Apple can make such an old design still feel special and fancy. The anodized aluminum sides curve seamlessly into the glossy glass back, making for a very slippery yet substantial feel. The build definitely punches above that modest price. Oh, did I mention that you can get these for around 150 Canadian dollars now? On paper, that's an insane value for a 2 to 3 year old iPhone, which will be updated for at least 3 more years. Other phones in that price range are typically plasticky, budget Android phones, which get a year or two of updates tops. I gotta say that product red is also really pretty. It catches the light really well and just adds to that Apple experience. Yes, I'm an Apple sheep, I know. The screen is definitely nothing special though. It doesn't flow into the edges or curve with the chassis. It's just the standard 4.7-inch screen that we've seen for ages now, with that mediocre 1334 by 750 resolution and a Retina HD 326 pixels per inch. This screen pretty much sucks compared to everything else on the market today. Even budget phones now have large, vivid Full HD screens, making this one look positively obsolete, especially with those bezels. However, sticking with the theme of minimalism, this screen gets the job done. The resolution sounds low, but using it regularly you can't really tell. It still looks like a good quality, readable display. And again, the small size is also a selling point for some people who maybe don't have large hands or just want a one-handable phone. Performance is also really solid for the price. This guy's rocking an A13 chip, which is shared with the iPhone 11 series, which definitely has no problem blazing through the UI and navigating through all of your digital life. However, I have noticed that apps and pages reload more frequently than with my current daily iPhone 11. This does make sense as the 11 has 4GB of RAM compared to the SE's measly 3, but overall it's been rock solid at doing all I need from my phone on a daily basis. So onto cameras, the SE does not disappoint either. It has a single 12-megapixel camera on the rear and a 7-megapixel selfie camera on the front. I'm not a pro photographer by any means, but I was perfectly satisfied with these random shots I took in various lighting conditions. Not having night mode is a bit of a drag though, but in decent light you can get some great vibrant pictures. However, as you can see from these night shots, it's pretty crunchy. Video is also pretty top-notch, as is the case with all iPhones. Stabilization is not as strong as some of the later iPhones, but even so, you can take some really nice footage with this little phone. So far, this all sounds great, right? I was fully satisfied with what the iPhone SE offered me feature-wise. It seems like a really good option for those looking for a budget-friendly and minimalistic way of getting into Apple's ecosystem. Again, minimal is the operative word here. You get no bells or whistles, but what you do get is a solid, well-rounded experience with the essentials included. At least, that's what I would say if the battery was not a flaming pile of garbage. For some reason, Apple decided to put an absolutely tiny 1821 mAh battery in this thing. For reference, the iPhone 11 has nearly double this at 3110 milliamps. Likely this was done to have the battery work within this iPhone 8 chassis, but still, this is way too little in this day and age. This measly battery size proved to be quite a problem for me. Granted, I am a university student who uses their phone quite often throughout the day, but I regularly need to juice this thing up before 6 p.m. hits, even with 100% charge at the beginning of the day. It's kind of reminding me of an electric car with this range anxiety. I'm acutely aware of my battery bar draining when using the phone day to day. And this issue only got worse with the newest iOS 16 update. There's no getting around the fact that the iPhone SE has a very, very mediocre battery life, and that kind of ruins the user experience for me. It's a shame really, since everything else about this phone was so great. I was surprised by just how much I loved the design. It ended up being my favorite part of the iPhone SE experience, just because of how light and easy it was to handle. However, that battery life was definitely a pain point when I used it as my daily driver, and I immediately noticed the significant improvement when I switched over to even my 3-year-old iPhone 11. If Apple had just fitted a larger battery, this could have very well been the perfect phone for many non-tech people or for those who just want the essence of an iPhone experience, which this thing almost delivers. As it is now though, the SE can only be comfortably recommended to those who use their phone rarely throughout the day and who are always near a charging spot. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, feel free to like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps new YouTubers such as myself. And if you want to see more similar content, feel free to peruse my channel, check out some of my other videos. And definitely expect some more Apple and other tech videos and content upcoming.